So today we're going to continue our examination of how to work with the spirit world by talking about animals. Now, there are so many resources, wonderful books and websites that list out nearly every animal you can think of and talk about the symbolism of the animal, what the animal could represent as a totem, how to invoke that particular and specific animal. And I think those resources are wonderful and amazing, and I encourage you to look at those. However, for the purposes of this course, I thought we'd take a slightly different approach to working with the animal kingdom, and that is by combining the spirit of nature, the force that connects us all here on planet Earth, combining the spirit of nature with the animal kingdom by bringing together the four elements and the kingdoms within the animal world that these correspond with and represent. And the ultimate goal of working with the spirit world, and specifically in working with the spirit of nature and animals, is to help us cultivate a sense of inner balance and an inner awareness, and most importantly, to honor the communion we share with all of life. The spirit of nature, the spirit of heaven, the spirit of love, all that is. That's what connects us all. And if we resonate with spirit through nature, then we learn about the spirit of nature. If we commune with spirit through animals, then we understand how to consciously work with animals. And that's the point of today's lesson, is to help you understand how to work consciously with the animal kingdom and with nature. So there are four elements of nature here on planet Earth. And the first one I'd like to talk about is the element of fire. And when we look at the animal kingdom, the representatives of the fire element are reptiles. So you can think of snakes and lizards, creatures that represent transformation. This is the fire element. The spirit of fire invites us to become passionate. It motivates us to creativity. It invites us to welcome and to embrace transformation and change in our life. The element of fire and the animals who represent the element of fire give us courage to make changes, allow us to give strength in becoming our own best advocate, can spark us towards action, and can also help us find renewal in loss. So this is the element of fire, and these are the animals who are represented by that particular element. So, when to connect with this spirit, you may wonder. Let's say you have a project and you feel stuck, or you feel stagnant, or you just can't seem to find the motivation to finish what you've started. Lighting candles, having a picture of a snake that seems to be comforting to you. These are the ways that you can connect with the fire element, and thereby igniting passion, giving you energy, allowing your creative juices to flow so you can finish up this project that has become stagnant. This would be a wonderful time to invoke the spirit of fire. Let's use another example. If you've experienced a tremendous loss, so let's say you were released from your job and you don't yet know what you'll do to make a living for your family, invoking the spirit of fire would give you an ability to connect with action. It would get you motivated. It would light sparks of renewal and hope within you that even though one phase has ended, another phase is just rising. The dawn is rising. The sun is another beautiful representative from the fire element. So a wonderful time to manifest your desires would be at sunrise or sunset. So in our situation, if you've lost your job and you don't know yet what to do, get up early one morning and watch the sunrise and affirm that the perfect job will be there for you at the exact right and perfect time. So fire ignites us and it helps us to move. Working with the animals within this element also likewise can encourage us along that path as well. So fire gets you going. Next, let's talk about the air element. So air is represented by the birds and the creatures who fly. So butterflies and bees and hummingbirds, all these beautiful creatures that fly through the air represent that element. Air inspires us. Air helps us communicate. It helps us express. It helps us be who we are in the world and to communicate that to others. Air is the tool that we can use to help connect ourselves with our spirit, to connect with animals, to connect with our friends and family. So air inspires us to express. So if you are feeling misunderstood, if you're wanting to express yourself more freely, if you're looking to be more able to communicate to people, to your family, even to open the space of sacred communion with the animal kingdom, then invoke air. You can do this using wind chimes, by having feathers on a personal altar, by having images of butterflies or birds close at hand. In your workspace, if you're a writer or an artist, it would be a wonderful idea to have something representative from the air element, a bird or a likeness thereof, to encourage you towards inspiration and to keep you in a place of effortless self-expression. So air expresses. Next, let's talk about the earth element. Now, there are animals aplenty, an abundance of animals that help us to connect with the earth element. And earth is such an important part of our spiritual well-being. Earth represents solidarity. It represents patience. It represents vitality. It's our physicality. So anytime you're needing healing of any type, of physical balance, of physical release, this is the element to connect with. Of course, the animals that represent the earth element are the animals that walk on the ground. Cats and dogs and lions, bears, all these wonderful creatures help us to connect with our home, with our earth, but more importantly, can help us in finding peace with our own bodies, with the physical expressions that we are here on our planet. So if you're struggling with body image, if you find yourself becoming irritated easily, if you're impatient, or if you're lacking trust, being in earth, sitting on the ground, holding an animal, cuddling with a cat, or invoking the spirit of a tiger or of a lion, these things will help you develop a sense of strength, patience, vitality, and presence. And these are the gifts of the earth element. These are vital for our sense of integration and well-being. So to deny our physicality is to really negate our experiences here on earth. Animals are beautiful and wonderful teachers in helping us embrace our physicality. I find, too, that Earth and the animals here on planet Earth are the best teachers when it comes to the spiritual quality of trust. Animals trust the process. Animals trust holding on and letting go. Animals don't fear physical change through death. It's just a continuation of our existence as spirits. So if you are resisting change, or if you're finding yourself fearing the unknown, then be with the earth element, be with the animals of the earth, and allow their wisdom and their trust in the process to inspire you to do likewise. That is how to connect with the spirit of the earth. Stones are wonderful for connecting with earth as well. Anything that draws you closer to our home planet will help you gain that sense of balance, physical vitality, and well-being. So last, let's talk about water. Water is the fourth element, and the animals who represent and correspond with the water element are, of course, fish and those who swim in the sea. There are so many wonderful animals that can help us to connect with our own water spirit, with this element that's present within each one of us. Water represents our emotions. It's our feeling. It's our intuitive nature. So these animals who dwell in the water, dolphins and whales and fish and frogs, amphibians, these creatures can help us become aware and attuned to our emotions. They can help us embrace our emotions as a vital part of who we are, and more importantly, how to accept and then learn from our emotions, how to use our emotions wisely to implement changes in our life. So emotions are valuable, and this water element, this spirit of water, is invaluable because it teaches us about the core of who we are as emotional beings and how we as emotional beings connect to our divine wisdom, connect to our own highest good. Water helps us to tap into our feelings about spirit, our feelings about our experiences here on earth. And so if you're wanting to transform feelings, you would invoke a creature from the water, such as a frog. If you're needing to go more with the flow, then you would invoke the spirit of the fish. These qualities, these representatives of this water element, allow us to embrace our emotions, to go with these experiences that we have as emotional beings here on our planet. The water element is also vital for renewal and for cleansing, as well as purification. So if you find yourself being stagnant, if you find that you're becoming limited in your thinking, or if you're feeling downtrodden or depressed, the water is such a wonderful spirit. The spirit of water and the creatures thereof can help us find a renewed flow, a sense of rejuvenation, new life springing forth. These are the gifts of the water element. So connect with the spirit of water, and to connect with the animals thereof is really quite simple. Put your feet in the water. Put your head in the water. Put your whole self in the water. Sit near a lake. Dive into the ocean. Whatever it takes to get yourself immersed in that element will be a powerful form of transformation, a wonderful way that you can renew your spirit and connect with that element. If you are blocked in your intuition or having a hard time discerning your own emotions, if you're feeling overwhelmed, go to the water and connect with the spirit of nature and the water and the animals there. And you will find clarity, you will find rejuvenation, and you will learn more to embrace your intuition and your spiritual gifts of your emotions. So these are the 4 elements and the animals that correspond with each element. Now, if you're wanting specifics within each element, so if you need some earth and you're feeling really tired, maybe rather than connecting with a house cat, you might invoke a large bear. If you're wanting to communicate, but you want to be subtle in your communications, or you want to speak softly, maybe you would invoke a butterfly. If you're needing to say something to a large crowd and you need everyone to hear it, maybe you would invoke a swan and trumpet like a swan. If you're wanting to make small changes in your everyday routine, maybe you could connect with the dragonfly as a fire element. Just small points of light, small changes, small everyday little transformations that add up to a great deal of change. If you need to make a massive change, if you're ready to let go, if you're ready to move boldly forward into your next step, you might connect with a large snake that represents ascension and transformation. So you can see now how working with these animals and understanding the element can help you more wisely and consciously choose the animals with whom you'll work and who can help you in calling forth this element from within you. Change, inspiration, expression, patience, trust, emotions, all these elements can help us in achieving personal and optimal balance. Now, if an animal presents itself to you, which these teachers often do, learn from the animal, observe the animal. So if you see a fox, you know this is an animal from the earth. So you start to ask yourself, this animal represents earth in a large sense. How do I need to connect more with my physical body? What do I need to do to improve my vitality? And then you start to look at the particularities of the animal who's presented itself to you. So for the fox, you observe the color, you observe the eating habits, you observe the cycle of the animal. And then you learn from each aspect of this animal who's presented itself to you when these teachers are offering up their lessons. So it's a wonderful give and take that we have with the spirit world, and with the spirit of nature, and with animals. And I want you to feel confident in being able to use that, to be taught and to seek to be taught. These are important aspects for you to understand when it comes to connecting with the spirit of nature. Next, I'm going to talk with you about how to connect with animals who are on the other side, and then I will guide you through a meditation to help you connect with each of these 4 elements and a particular representative from each spirit of nature. So next, as I mentioned, we'll do our audio lesson on connecting with pets who have made their transition to the other side. Thank you for joining me for this part of the lecture.